This message is not for everyone. It's not for the casual listener or the person who just stumbled onto this video by accident. This is for the chosen, the one who's been hidden, overlooked, underestimated, but always obedient. The one who's been through wilderness seasons, pruning seasons, and silence, but never let go of the promise. You didn't ask for fame. You didn't ask for applause. But deep inside, you've always known there's something massive on your life, something generational, something global, something that shifts economies, breaks chains, and changes entire bloodlines. And now, God is lifting you, not into comfort, not into mediocrity, but into billionaire status, not by hustle, not by accident, but by decree. This is divine wealth, strategic elevation, heaven-backed abundance. You're not just being blessed, you're being positioned. So if this resonates, if something in your spirit is stirring, don't look away. Because this is the prophetic confirmation you've been praying for. And here are 7 undeniable signs that God is lifting you into billionaire status on purpose, for purpose. God is shifting your mindset before He shifts your bank account. Before you can walk in abundance, God has to do a deeper work. He has to renew your mind. True wealth doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your perspective. And lately, you've felt that shift. You're no longer satisfied with shallow conversations, meaningless distractions, or temporary highs. You crave more. Depth, purpose, wisdom. What once entertained you now exhausts you. What once held your attention now feels like noise. This transformation is not a coincidence. It's divine preparation. God is breaking generational cycles, poverty mindsets, scarcity thinking, mental ceilings passed down through trauma and limitation. You're starting to dream beyond yourself. You're thinking in legacy terms. You're not just trying to pay bills. You're envisioning businesses, building systems, and sowing into generations you'll never meet. This isn't pride, it's awakening. You're realizing that wealth isn't just about money, it's vision, leadership, stewardship, and God will never put abundance in your hands until He first expands your mind. You're being reprogrammed, rewired for responsibility, excellence, and divine influence, because you're not being called to be rich for ego, but to be wealthy for legacy. This is kingdom elevation, and it starts in your thoughts. You're becoming uncomfortable in every space that doesn't match your future. Look around. Feel it. That subtle but undeniable disconnection. The conversations that once sparked joy now feel empty. The rooms that once made you feel seen now feel suffocating. The people you once aligned with now feel like strangers. It's not arrogance. It's not ego. It's evolution. You haven't just outgrown people, you've outgrown limitations. This discomfort isn't random. It's divine. It's the same holy tension Abraham felt when God told him to leave everything familiar and step into the unknown. Why? Because the familiar can no longer fuel your future. Where God is taking you requires a new frequency, a higher mindset, and a stronger atmosphere. You can't become a billionaire in a room that celebrates mediocrity. You can't birth a kingdom legacy surrounded by small-minded, fear-driven energy, and God knows that. That's why He's gently or forcefully pulling you out, shifting your circle, isolating you, because expansion requires exposure to something greater. You're not being punished. You're being positioned to outgrow every limitation, to outlast every label, and to outproduce every expectation ever spoken over you. This isn't the end of your comfort. It's the beginning of your calling. And God is preparing the soil for a legacy far bigger than your name. God is sending divine instructions and strategic blueprints. You've started waking up with ideas that seem to come out of nowhere. Concepts, inventions, business plans, content system solutions. They're arriving uninvited yet perfectly timed. Don't ignore this. These aren't random thoughts. They are divine downloads. Strategic blueprints straight from heaven, designed for you to build, not just brainstorm. Billionaires don't become who they are by chasing money. They rise by solving problems. And God is giving you solutions. Not to follow trends, but to lead transformation. That app on your mind, that product idea, That service you keep envisioning, that's your assignment. It's not just a good idea, it's a God idea. But here's the truth: revelation means nothing without execution. God can bless what you build, but He won't build what you won't start. Those ideas you've brushed off, that's where your wealth is hiding. The strategy is in your hands now, and heaven is watching what you do with it. This isn't just inspiration, it's stewardship. You're not just receiving wisdom, you're being entrusted with destiny. The vision is generational. What you create now will ripple far beyond your lifetime. Move boldly, build faithfully, obey fully. Because what's inside you is bigger than you, and it's time to release it. You're learning to steward what you already have differently. Another clear sign of divine elevation. Your relationship with money is shifting. You're paying attention to details: budgeting, teething, investing, saving. You're no longer careless with finances. You no longer see money as just something to spend, but something to multiply. God is watching how you handle your little before He releases your more. And lately you've become more responsible, more intentional, and more prayerful with what's in your hands. This is spiritual maturity. The most powerful billionaires in the kingdom are not reckless. They are stewards. You're learning that wealth flows where honor goes. You're honoring your resources. And that alignment is preparing you to handle more than you ever imagined. You're experiencing unusual warfare around your purpose. The enemy doesn't attack the average. He targets the anointed. And lately, your warfare has been unexplainable. Random delays, strange resistance, sudden anxiety, people turning on you for no reason, projects failing at the finish line. But here's what most don't understand. Warfare is often confirmation of destiny. Hell doesn't fight what it doesn't fear. And because you're being lifted into billionaire territory, where your wealth will break chains, free families, build communities, the enemy is terrified. He wants you discouraged, distracted, delayed. But what he doesn't realize is, you've already won. Because your faith didn't fold. You're still standing, still building, still believing. And the more the enemy attacks, the more heaven is about to accelerate. You're called to fund kingdom agendas, not just personal dreams. This is the why behind your wealth. It's not just to own houses, fly private, or post status symbols. God is raising you to fund the kingdom. Your billions will build churches, rescue children, restore families, educate the poor, and transform cities. You're not called to just be a consumer. You're a conduit. Heaven is pouring wealth through you because it knows it can trust you. That's why you've been through so much. That's why you had to learn humility before prosperity. So when the money comes, it won't change you, it'll equip you. And when others ask, "How did you do it?" you'll point upward. Because your wealth will be your witness, and your story will inspire others to rise in righteousness and purpose. You feel a deep, unshakable knowing, I'm meant for more. Even when nothing around you looks like success, your spirit keeps whispering, you're destined for more. It's not pride, it's prophecy. A quiet fire that refuses to go out. You may not have millions yet. You may still be in your apartment, driving your starter car, working a job you don't love, but inside, something massive is coming. You don't just want wealth, you're meant for it. This is the spirit of Abraham, Joseph, Esther, and Solomon rising in you, a royal DNA that refuses to settle. Because your future is not middle-class safety, it's generational greatness. And that, knowing, is God's whisper, reminding you of the covenant He made with you long ago. You didn't imagine it, you didn't invent it, you inherited it. Let's take a moment to reflect. This message wasn't for your emotions, it was for your identity. You are not random, you are not behind, you are not forgotten, you are being positioned, quietly, strategically, divinely. God is lifting you into billionaire status, not for ego, but for impact, not to flaunt wealth, but to fund freedom. You will be the one in your family that breaks every cycle. You will be the first to walk in abundance. You will be the lender, not the borrower. The head, not the tail. And when people ask, how did you go from nothing to everything? You'll answer with 2 words: be decree. Here's what's coming next. You've passed the test. You've survived the warfare. You've stewarded your season. And now, God is about to release the resources for what you were born to build. Expect divine connections, open doors, angelic assistance, favor in places you never applied for, contracts, clients, capital. You're following a mandate, and God is backing you fully. Walk boldly, speak confidently, build fearlessly, because the decree has been released, and your billionaire status is already in motion. If this message lit a fire in your soul, it's because it was meant for you. Don't just hear this, prepare for it. The next video will show you how to move when God is elevating you financially, so you don't waste the window of favor that's coming next. Watch next, Chosen One. God is crying out, please don't do this. It could cost you everything. You've been chosen. Now you've been confirmed. It's time to walk like the billionaire you were born to be.